The SPX 6900 is shaping up to be the biggest meme coin of this entire cycle. But when you look at a graph like this, you're like, geez, golly whiz, did I miss it? Because not only has it run from a $250 million market cap up to a $1.67 billion. And if you follow us on this channel, you know we were screaming about it at this point. And if you're in our inner circle, you know we found the SPX 6900 as a community at a $12 million market cap. So if you're only hearing about it now, it feels like I'm just a little bit too late and this only has downside to go. But then you come and look at the smart money and you see that the SPX 6900 is the most bought token by smart money in the last 24 hours and in the last 7 days, having over $400,000 of smart money. You're like, what's smart money? Well, basically, it's the most profitable wallets and people with a great track record buying more and more SPX 6900. And they're doing this because they think that there is at least a 92x multiple to go. And this is the same chart that I just showed you. This is the SPX 6900 chart, but just zoomed out because Murad's thesis and a lot of other big brain traders have the thesis that this is going to cross to $100 to $120 billion before March next year. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what makes Murad so confident to literally bet $50 million on this playing out. But before we do, you know we like to trade meme coins on this channel during our video. So we use the Archie wallet. We go to Dex Screener and we pick a meme coin we think can do really well. Baby Grok has absolutely started skyrocketing since Elon tweeted about it, but I think we're a little bit too late in that. So I'm going to come down here and find one with a decent amount of volume and a small enough market cap to trade. And if I make profit on this trade, I'll be giving it away to one of you guys at the end of the video. So to trade on Archie, all you need to do is copy out the contract address. You can see this was launched on Let's Bonk, which is a pump fund competitor. Open your Archie wallet. If you don't have Archie, I'll link it in the description below. You can literally buy and sell any Solana tokens. So to buy on Archie wallet, it's super simple, super fun, super easy. You paste in the contract address. Archie does all the hard work behind the scenes, pulls up the ticker for you, and all you have to do is click on buy. We're going to buy 6 Solana. It does all the handshakes and digital deals for us, and that gets added to our portfolio, which we can see by just clicking this button. This is all hosted inside of Telegram. You can see our delusional coin is right here. Let's check back at the end of the video to see if there's money to give away to one of you guys. And so, must stop Murad. He's the guy who called SPX 6900 first. And he actually, back in 2024, October 20 to be exact, he says, this is how I expect the meme coin supercycle to play out. 2 more bullish parabolas. These are the bullish parabolas right here. And this is back in 2024. And then he thinks basically where we are right now, we're coming into August, almost into this last and the biggest parabola. Humans underestimate exponentials. Then he updated us. When's this dated? This is April 2025, when we had the first parabola that played out exactly as he thought. And then, as I said, we're here at the end of July, about to come into the next one. And what has the market done? It started to pick up again. And he thinks, this is why I showed you that crazy graph at the start with over $100 billion market cap, this will be the biggest gains that we are going to have. But I'm like, where the hell is he getting this information for? He's just drawn 2 random green boxes on the screen and it just happens to be playing out exactly as he thought. I wanted to dig deeper. I want to know what his logic is behind these timelines and these price estimates. And I found it. He said, memes outperformed in 2024. Murad's thesis is this is the meme coin supercycle exclusively, and utility plays are going to be faded out this year. Memes will outperform in 2025 because they outperformed last year. I'll show you why in a second. These dynamics occur every single crypto cycle. The theme that outperforms in year 3 of the crypto cycle usually outperforms again in year 4. Momentum, stories, plus reflexivity, which I'll also jump to in just a second. But first, I want to cover outperformers. And this is a really blurry screenshot from Murad's presentation, but you can basically see this is 2024, the top 300 cryptos on CoinMarketCap, the outperformers in 2024, which was year 3 of the cycle. I'll show you that right here. You can see cycles come in 4 years. Year 1 is the pullback, which doesn't make sense if that's year 1, but it comes after the 4th year of the upside. Year 2 is the chill phase. Year 3 is the first breakout, which is outperformers in year 3. Whatever outperformed on this 3rd year that went up where these circles are are the ones historically that outperformed in the real bullish parabola, the exponential part of the graph here in year 4s. In 2025, we're in the year 4, we're in the banana zone, and we're expected, as you already seen, if we actually filled this in here, we're already going up, and we have a very exciting next 6 months to go. But why Murad thinks it's memes that are going to have the best ROI is because they outperformed in 2024. And you can even see here, this is all the tokens in 2024 that outperformed Bitcoin. Because what happens, guys, Bitcoin leads the cycle and normally outperforms every single altcoin. And then its dominance drops back and then all the altcoins go crazy. But a few altcoins outperform Bitcoin even in that 3rd year of the cycle. And if you see the common pattern, you've got AI at the top, but then you've got a meme. Basically 75% of these tokens are memes. And therefore, if they outperformed in year 3, Murad has put his hat in the category of memes to outperform in year 4. But that's cool. That means memes are going to do well in year 4 if this continues, but it still doesn't really show me why he knows that there's 2 green bullish parabolas. Like, where does that actually come from? Well, I studied, once again, his token 2049 presentation, and he showed me how historically everything that pumped in the 4th year had a single pump in the 3rd year, and then a double pump in the 4th year that far outperformed that. This is Ethereum in 2016 and 2017, year 3 and 4 of that part of the cycle. This is Verge that had that test pump in 2016, and then that real pump in 2017, and a mega pump in late 2017. This is Solana, which was basically the hero of the 2020-2021 cycle. Test pump in 2020, mega pump in 2021, mega pump again in 2021. Even NFTs, CryptoPunks, which was by far the biggest outperformer, pumped in that 3rd year of the cycle right here. And it doesn't look like a crazy pump, but this is probably something like 800%. It's just way smaller than it ended up being. Higher pump in early 2021, this again probably another 800%, and then that late 2021 mega pump when NFTs really hit the mainstream and retail narrative. And of course, he predicts that memes are going to be doing this. This was in his presentation. Once again, we've already filled out this green square, and we've got this second green square to go coming into September of 2025. So that's where he gets the thesis from, which I'm actually like, okay, that's starting to line up and make sense. But he also explains exactly why it plays out this way, which I thought was very helpful in if you want to double down or get into a token like SPX6900 or another meme coin that you think will fit this mathematical equation. He talks about the importance of momentum. Trends early in the cycle end up going parabolic at the end of the cycle. I think early in the cycle means early in that bullish time of the cycle, not year 1, but year 3, like we just walked through and explained together. The explanation is they have momentum, reflexivity, which is the big new keyword here, and also stories. Strength begets strength. Don't be investing in weak tokens. Don't be scared of higher market caps. This is Murad's thesis. And so I was looking at all the times Murad had mentioned this formula with reflexivity in it, and he's talked about it quite a bit on Twitter. Momentum, stories, reflexivity. Basic game theory and reflexivity. Study past cycles, momentum, and reflexivity. And this is the equation breakdown. Momentum is the early price move that we saw at the end of the 3rd year in the cycle. The stories then become the success stories from that early momentum. Who made money on WIF? Who made money on Pepe? Who made money on SPX6900 at the end of 2024 on that test pump? They go out, relegate their friends. They go tell their family. And everyone's like, wait, what was the token name? I want to get into that one. And these stories and narratives and belief systems then have a feedback loop called reflexivity that make it go parabolic. Murad talks about this once again in his presentation. Every time I watch his presentation, I pick up something new. For trends to emerge, there needs to be stories percolating across the industry and society at large about people making large gains. That's the only stories that gets people's attention. Think about XRP. Oh my God, I made millions of dollars in XRP. Everyone's like, wait, what was the token name? Let me go get into that one that made you millions, even if you're 6 to 12 months late. Where are the stories coming from this cycle? Murad's thesis is they're not coming from utility alts because not many people are making millions in there yet, but they are currently coming from meme coins. And I've explained this theory before where people like me and you may think, oh, SPX6900 is already at a $2 billion market cap, and therefore it's already run and I missed it. But the normies, the retail money, the people with $10 trillion of assets that are coming into crypto don't think that way. We're basically in a casino to them. And they're like, which of these slot machines are the luckiest? Which ones are the best? Which ones made you money? And if this was XRP here in the orange and they've heard a lot of success stories, they're going to go sit at the XRP slot machine. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It doesn't matter what the market cap is. They view this as luck and not about what's already run. That's how you mid-curve this cycle. And reflexivity is a new term that I discovered in researching this video, and it actually makes so much sense. Like I say here on this channel, the price is the signal. When Bitcoin hits all-time highs, that's when people are interested. When Bitcoin's going to hit 200 grand, that's when people are going to be very interested. Not when it was at $15,000. They don't care at that point, even though you want to contra trade this. This is how the people who control most of the money think and operate, and we have to respond accordingly. Reflexivity in market, especially in crypto bull markets, looks like this. The price rises, SPX6900 goes up. It attracts attention, the narratives, the stories, the influences, and the retails come flooding in. I have a friend who's not in crypto, who got into SPX6900, doubled their money, and then they're like, oh my God, I want to put so much more money in. Because, once again, that's how they see it. The price rises, and they think, okay, now's the time to get in. The attention from these stories and the successes drive more demand, which drives a higher price, which confirms the narrative and loops back, turning this momentum into a mania. And Murad says that memes have such a long way to go because utility altcoins, which were the narrative in the last cycle, hold $850 billion of value, and $155 billion is dilution that's going to be coming onto the market between now and 2029, which that market cap here, I think he's taken out Doge and SHIB, the top two memes here, because he thinks they're more of a traditional thing now, and they're no longer put into this meme bubble that he's put here. But basically, all meme coins outside of those top two are valued at $40 billion, which is less. It's about a quarter of the total unlocks coming for altcoins. So he says memes have such a high ceiling and they can go really, really far because they are the narrative of this cycle, and they're not even 1/20th of altcoins. And he's got this little green one down here called new memes, which were valued at $8 billion at the time of his presentation. And you can see this playing out with SPX6900. This is why I haven't sold anything meaningful. I sold a little bit to buy the SPX6900 NFT today, but I haven't sold or even dollar cost averaged out of SPX6900 because I think there's so much more upside to go. Currently, there's 191,000 holders. 200,000 SPX69 holders pending. This will be the tipping point, the inflection point where people will flood into SPX6900 in droves. This will cause a chain reaction which will ignite a parabolic move causing mass mania. It's only just begun. And this really good website, aeon6900.com, shows the total holders. I think it could be a little bit behind since the other person said 191,000, but it's 190,000 holders, which makes you think, how many holders did Doge have before it went parabolic? Again, I show you this graph almost every time I talk about SPX6900 because this is supposed to be the Dogecoin of this cycle. And when Doge was sitting here at around a $5 to $7 billion market cap, people thought it had already run. Then it hit the inflection point, the critical mass, and went parabolic almost to $100 billion. Well, I found this, which is in white is the price of Doge, which is the graph we're just looking at, where it almost peaked at $100 billion. It's $94 billion is what it peaked at. The active addresses for Doge back then was 80,000 addresses. Now, we don't have non-active addresses, and I think we're comparing total addresses. So you could probably say there's about 40 to 50, maybe 60,000 active addresses in the SPX6900 community, which is really honing in on that inflection point of 80,000 addresses, which was the time that, the amount of holders plus the market sentiment, and the market sentiment's rapidly turning for us to go parabolic into that third green square that Murad drew for us. Now, if you're still not convinced and you think you're late to SPX6900, make sure you join us in our inner circle where we are on the hunt for the next big token. There's one token rallying at the moment, which we're talking about in there, which looks extremely promising. So the link is in the description to that. And with that said, let's see if our Archie trade made money. You can see this is our portfolio right here, and we can click on our delusional coin, which we put 5.6 Solana into. You can see we're just down 3%. So no win today, but check in next time, and we'll be giving away 1 Solana every time we make profit on these YouTube videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.